Good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Friday here in North Beach. As usual, there is a wonderful audience, and give yourself a round of applause for that. Thank you to Macchiarini Creative Design for hosting the reading every month. Dan Macchiarini, who runs the gallery, cannot be with us tonight because he is at Burning Man, making his coin stamps with his daughter and his granddaughter. And so I'm going to begin with a poem that I worked on about my trip back east for the past 2 weeks, but it's about other things too, I guess. And it's called Landscapes. Fizz back into the sea. Roar, a rare zit. A sailboat goes by. The small planes with the banner ads go by. There were more of them when I was a kid. You can't buy posters anymore, even here at the Jersey Shore. Mail art is no more. The tide comes in and goes further up the beach, teasing my toes, in and out, in and out. There are white jellyfish. Kids dig sand crabs. Shh. Beseech the ocean. BC, beseech, BC still. The Coast Guard just rescued a boat. The train inches along to the scrapple of the apple, past the Jersey Shore, Manasquan, Point Pleasant, Aberdeen, Avon by the Sea, Asbury Park, greetings. We go into the concrete, Metuchen, Linden, Union City, Rahway, Newark Airport, Newark. There is a body of water with a narrow beach. You can see a bridge. There's a family in the fog with a pink umbrella, shovel, and bucket. Penn Station. Oh, to describe the smell of the New York subway. I walk into the Carlton Arms. Room 2B is black and white. The design is based on a photo. There's a mosque in the background. The silver table with the cracked mirror is rickety. I cut my eye reaching for the light when I get back. The stage lights were so bright I couldn't see the audience. It was so surreal. That's why they didn't put me in the fish room. Doug called my armpit movements hippie. I thought they were Piaf or Living Theater. George Wallace introduced me as the Queen of North Beach. The lights were so bright I couldn't see the audience. At the beach, the seagulls ignore me. I lost my sunglasses dancing to Shaka Khan with Deborah Pintinelli. Carl's piece about an inability to feel pleasure didn't affect me. I hung with Sparrow, Jennifer Blowdryer, Patricia, the dancer who got locked in a basement in Mexico City, Steve Wishnia, my editor at High Times. I thought Michael Carter had fallen on the sidewalk, but it turned out to be a pile of garbage. He wouldn't relinquish the manuscript. I swished around in 2A, swished to Pinot Grigio and Groovy Blues. Tom Clark was there. Handsome Dick Manitoba didn't remember me, but the guy at the soubrette hot dog stand did. They turned the upstairs into a shishi cocktail lounge with its own private entrance. No more live music up there on Sundays. No more jazz and jams. There used to be John Farris, hobbling down 3rd Street, banging on his cane, a duffel bag with poems in his shirt pocket, poems all over the street, coming out of Bullet Space, the pace of Alphabet City. He was talking about being Malcolm X's bodyguard, Sun Ra's roommate, His favorite writer, Chester Himes, what an asshole you were, falling over the railing, landing a story down the tile stairs. You told the doctor I pushed you. Did you fucking think you were the king of Mayberry? Like you asked Mike Tyson in a poem. You really were the horse's ass, the title of your most famous book. The next morning, I head to the hood in the pouring rain, just like last August 22nd, the day that Jack Hirschman died. The sky was crying. The sky cries today. I was headed to my reading at Lucky. Danny Schott called to shoot me the news. We toasted Jack, had a moment of silence, read some poems, sung a fug song. On Monday, potatoes. On Tuesday, potatoes. On Wednesday, potatoes. On Thursday, potatoes. On Friday, potatoes. On Saturday, potatoes. Sunday, nothing. A woman stands up in the bar and says, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate the lyrics. I slurp on a pistachio milkshake from Ray's newsstand. I had trouble getting the straw in. I walk through puddles. It's Monday morning. No one is around. David Henderson's phone isn't working. He called Jack LaRouge. He's been gone a year. We spelt and pronounced words backwards together. You called me Sewell. The sky is crying. It's a warm rain. I head to Penn Station, back to the shore, Sublime, New Jersey, beefsteak tomatoes, the white corn on the cob. Patricia said my reading was corporeal. She is a dancer after all. I'm back at the beach. I get small shells and smooth, wet sand. A seagull hangs a Dorito bag on its beak and walked off. I watched the waves breaking, watched the sand swirl in them as they wash up onto the beach. The water ricochets. And next I would like to introduce, thank you. Next I would like to introduce Jason Morris, who I had the great pleasure of reading with at my friend Marina Lazara's place about a month and a half back or so, and she will be coming up with some music after this. But please welcome Jason Morris.
Hopefully everyone can hear me all right. Yeah? Jessica, thank you so much. That was an awesome trip back to the East Coast and maybe a decade. That was great. Thank you. I wanted to wish Tate Swindell a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tate. Woo!
Yeah, that was before.
And Jessica. I didn't know that. Well, happy birthday, Jessica. I'm really happy to be here. This is great. I guess I'll just jump in and read some poems to you. This is called Another Time. I got my nails done. I got my fortune told. I wandered around with the ruined zombies. Last night's passengers on this morning's waking dream. Their plastic bottles and wicked smiles welcomed me. I said goodbye to an old friend at the terminal. I wrote postcards outside the donut shop while pigeons ate crumbs around my feet. We've still got a long way to go until nightfall. Not until, but and then. Night will fall and we will still have a long way to go. Another purgatorial moment, blissful, dilatory, savage. I was a colorful little boat on a filthy canal. The musicians aboard saluted the evening with music and wine. We are adrift now, and the big jets are overhead in the night. This one's entitled After Creeley. My problem, all I want is what would destroy everything. Only the foundation is what you need, i.e. upright bass and snare. This particular light in the evening, this unrepeatable hour. Melody can be endlessly improvised. It is a question of how, not what, to sound. Do not let the parts escape you. Once you have perceived them, it should not be impossible and will come to run your life, make you miss that I, to love and hate it, something incorrectly inferred, and which becomes painful even over the course of a day. That was sort of an uncle, and I guess this is sort of an aunt. It's entitled For Joanne Kiger. Fire starts where certainty ends, in a sort of total friction, abstracted from world into fable, rising, unpredictable bargain made between first people and last gods. The change reveals change, presiding in myth as mysteriously as a volcano, what spewed out land after arising from a lake, green to ash white, black to red, and orange tongues, basalt, jasper, obsidian, and jade. El Mirador, where the old priests and astronomers now recalled in early morning sunlight, mist resolving into colors of a canopy, as young American tourists gaze at their tablets. The night before, I read The Forgotten City, William Carlos Williams, by headlamp with a cold gallo, to call, City of Voices, howler monkeys, a very deep darkness. I heard parts of it in yours. The point of poetry is to continue poetry. On time, specifically a commitment to the ongoing investigation with no end in sight, remembered as it was, a detour in childhood caused by an act of God, the day of the hurricane, Hurricanos, one-eyed Olmec god of storms. I passed through extraordinary places where the storm had broken the barrier and let through a strange commonplace. Williams is walking with his mother and promises himself he'll someday be back into this anomaly, this exception. And then this is just like kind of a fun one, self-portrait. I noticed when I was over in Chinatown, like many years ago, that there's a dead-end alley called Jason, and that's my name, Jason Morris. Anyway, self-portrait. A distinction without a difference. A dead-end alley in Chinatown. That's what Jason is. Pitifully specific. A bunch of molecules in cahoots. I have lived here since 1977, when Ceremony and the Damned also came out. And you would have the temerity, the quiescence, to ask me how or as whom I identify. My identity is Jason fucking Morris. Honestly, could be anyone, anything. No, I am the one that swam in that lake in the rain. I never resisted being who I am, but I tried to resist trying to. I have zero interest in solving anything, only in showing my work. I awaited whatever was next to come. I broadcast dragon's teeth in advance of my own blank generation. It is such a gamble when you get a face. Sun Pi was working on a high loft chair. She's me and I'm him. I'm her and he's me. The scrim, sometimes so thin where what I see and what's me leave off. It reverses itself, or I reverse what I think it is. At any rate, I seem to have been blessed once again, or condemned rather, to think of it all as such. Just another round of puzzles, systems, games. I really am having a bit of a day, being thus enjoined as wave or vibration, as a thickening in air. Why then inflict this painful separation on it? Everything is connected and the world is alive. In the din of what I thought I knew, there is a little song. One of these fine Akashic records, you're gonna want me for your girl. In the appearance domain, an atmosphere made up of what's in me, air. A distinction without a difference. What a neat way of tracing out more or less all there's ever been. How's everyone doing? I think I'm going to read like 3 more. Does that sound good or painful? Good? Okay. All right. This is a sonnet, and I ripped off the title from Clark Coolidge poem, A Skull Out of Paper. Bugs me to have forgotten the thought in these dreamed images of decay, entropy, cream stirred into coffee, nebulae, irreversible action as such. Oh, now I understand why I did that. A head envisioned carved in space, the headband looking practically iron, possibly to hold in that giant, delicate brain, whose phantom clouds grace what artists look for, lose, then draw, to tell the past in reverse, time symmetric and mixed with baser matter. Looks like you got your mind on backwards, bud. And that old mammal paw, most alive in the moment of refusal, creates the creases, recesses, the silver range, parts of a pattern, incomplete, that make you look for the miraculous child, find mind's forms fossilized in some other music of curbs. All right, I guess I'll do 2 more. This one's entitled Clark Meet Mark. The old telepathy process, psychic real estate much realer, set to expand in pyramid style, in cycle slot and fading void. This was the regular form, only more profane, the gear filth of reciprocal good humor and gap. This the cathode ray tube on which faces inch the iron area, surround, along with whatever actinides ride through veins at given time. Some animal dreamt up the hit. On no-luck torso once again locked conjunctions to form colloid. Fix arm to 0, in on letter valence. Send the whole of it into a dream of waves. Blued in the mains and slowly shifting, the denizens, their major industry is us. Hexen definitive strife knot, all noun going down into ground. Okay, this last one is entitled Easy Mind. This is a song about the future, written in the past, ideally to be memorized and shared with whomever. Poems should be like recipes that way. Identity, another fuzzy doorway, so what about it anyway? It's a backstage list, a colorful outburst, a child who loves balloons. Stout, mezcal, cigarettes, and cocaine. Debt peonage versus the unlawed impulses of faith and love. The old story we would die to keep repeating, just to see how it ends. Of course, it never does. I was one who kept trying to approach oblivion, just said, what the fuck am I doing out loud? I'd been propelled back into the low true world. It is harmful, the delusion of progress, a mistake one nevertheless must live by. Even in the midst of this, my apocalyptic diet, I see so clear the sparrow in the leaves, the day of small things. Attention paid, wrong word, in occulted moments, that the reverie may appear in the space you cleared for it there. See you turn into me again, propelled back into the low true world. Easy mind in the algorithmic lilacs. Thank you very much for listening. Happy birthday, Tate. Thank you, Jessica.
Once again, Jason Morris. And yes, I know him from New Porridge. Like so many others of you and so many people on the bill tonight, I know from New Porridge. I mean New College. Anyhow, our next guest I also know from New College, or New Porridge, Marina and Jay, playing some music. Original composition.
Almost. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday to Tate. Happy birthday to Jessica. These are some songs, some of my kind of 3 or 4 friends who have been hearing these for the last year, but we're refining them. I think I'm working on a collection of songs to the sun. I think the sun has a bad rap, you know? Gives us life, but it's also causing us, we always blame it on the sun, the warmth. So there's going to be audience participation, either driving by. I don't know, but we are definitely acoustic here. Ready? Down the makers in a house where we live, leaves fall, but not on our heads. Evolution, that tongue of yours, don't identify, hangs loosely. So put it in the water. Put it in the water, put it in the water and wring it out. Put it in the water, put it in the water, put it in the water and wring it out. Down the makers in a house where we live, leaves fall, but not on our heads. Room, blast worlds, rabies flowering, blooms, blast worlds, rabies flowering. This old rust There's a little audience participation in this one. So basically, I'm gonna kind of do something like this, and you're gonna go. So it's like. Okay, so when I do that, you're gonna go. Are you with me? You with me? Okay. Leading light to light for the path of your, for the sides that you love, for the path of your. It's a landscape close to your heart. It's a landscape close to your heart. Okay, here we go. Ready? By the road, by the road, pick the time, pick the time. It's a landscape close to your heart. It's a landscape close to your heart. Okay, one more time. We are leaning for the sun in a mad hung pleasure. The path to the shortest sky. No light, long night. No light, long night. Darkness is just rest. Our feet are fake to the ground, and all of the poets are still in each other's eyes to keep the mystery. And all of the poets are still in each other's eyes to keep the mystery. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Tate and Jessica. Thank you so much for all you do for the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Marina and Jay. Let's hear it for Marina and Jay. And the next poet is also from New College, is Patrick Dunnigan. Please welcome Patrick Dunnigan. Who actually published an ongoing long poem, and everyone wrote these short pieces about everyone's good friend David Meltzer and put it all together in this long scream. It's a poet's scroll. So once again, Patrick Dunnigan.
Thanks, Jessica, and wherever Jessica's at, Jessica's over there. And happy birthday, late birthday. Happy birthday to Tate on his birthday. Thank you all for showing up. Hi, George. I'm just going to read a few poems. I made a little book because it's easier that way. So this is Where Are You Going? And it's after both Louis Warsh and Larry Fagan, so it's sort of like a collab, is how I thought of it. Not guilty of leaving, yet with door open, one foot is motioning like an eyeball, turning round, back the skull. The other foot trebles about at a glance, listening to all this, wryly amused, peering over the fence. The neighbor snores like a set of haiku released to the wind. And then there's a lot of poet names in this. Unfortunately, most of them, or all of them, are men. Sorry. But it's not, there's lots of women that could pop up. It's just, this is just recent stuff. So, Louis Warsh Acid. Writing unforgettable polka dots. Trying understand today's wondrous clouds. Wandering pugs keep mugging it up. Pale banisters, batting lashes, supportive struts, swinging colossal, rattling collars. Another Wednesday. What's that nosy avocado red who first thought it all possible? A 1979 you in three-way monologue. One Christian to another. We're all constructions here. They're talking away fire, replacing fire with hire, placing hats atop windmills, Cervantes statue, Golden Gate Park, head blown up, realigned Palace of Fine Arts across town, and Venom sequel. Bill Berkson, speaking in the eighth person, how you do, giving fifth dimensional testimonial. You vanished in a nanosecond. Several vases suffered shattering fates. The general, she guffawed. Lacking grace, you see, the yard suddenly less than inviting. Connie now gone, you never to reappear. Kevin gone as well. An ever-narrowing party slips here to there about town. Hope you smile somehow, somewhere we aren't. May this world you left welcome a future you'd enjoy as much as we enjoy the vessel left behind. Who needs days? Jim Brodey said in a poem to Notley, got a woman in there, bending time into space, rocketing readers, an eternity on, still at it, rollicking towards the heart of breath, as Brodey ever rightly has it, straight on till well past dawn, friends, let's burn clear and bright. If there's more to be said, best get to saying it. One only lives for hearing what's read. And this is a line from Gregory Corso, and this is obviously for Tate's birthday, but also for Jessica's birthday. So, tonguing ears with spirit. That's a line of Corso's out of the latest book, The Golden Dot. Father, who art not father to me, spiritus sanctus, non-consensual, deliberate mischief magician, driven saint, devout guide of same esoteric means, father, not father, I wear your eyes, as Kaufman challenges, would you wear my eyes? Corso, coyote, I see you, Golden Gate Park morning, startled, clear-eyed, awake, disappearing into the green, browns washed clean. Go on, Corso, coyote, go on. Long live Gregorio. Without regret, it has a little thing from Yeats, Irish dude. I, through the terrible novelty of light, stalk on, stalk on. These great seahorses bare their teeth and laugh at dawn. Another night, Lorca splayed across the table. Poe continues his tale. I'd hardly notice a thing else, following the thought of talk along. What pickled gems? No need bothering call it anything, just listen. How every monster allows for heroic endeavor. It's easy, miss the chance, recognize sincerity, believing truths such friends share. Ecstatic, yet gummed up in feckless wonderment. How astounding when reflection brightens things next day. This is for Rich Taggett, who's currently in Detroit, living a second life. Everything happening yesterday happens today, just before, starting over again back then. Death in sounds words make. Best let habit work out the details. Nobody's round worth bothering ask. Take your notes down quick. To them, in them parts, things that vanish tend reappear once forgotten. Mack trucks barreling down riverbeds, chasing transformers lit up across endless moving screens. How it all is a dream, we make something else entirely. Earned notoriety on credit, that guilt slips free, dancing down the street, swinging iron chandeliers out of Cocteau, an advance upon imparted future mark. Just a couple more. These are super short. This is a Bill Berkson line. Laughing obvious changed. Willpower or detergent? Oh, I fucked that up. Willpower or deterrent? Detrimental detergent. Right. I'll say it again. It's short. I can read it twice, and I fucked it up the first time. And the words go together. It's a poem, right? These things are supposed to go together. Laughing obvious changed. Willpower or deterrent? Detrimental detergent. Autobiographia. I come to poetry for answers. There are no answers in poetry. And here's just one more. This will be a little bit more tricky probably to hear, but we're going to give it a go. So Louis Warsh passed away, and his last book was Elixir, which is a just fucking amazing book. Blew my mind. And I was never like a huge Louis Warsh fan. He's a New York poet, but he was out here in North Beach with Spicer back in the 50s, and in the 60s he was out. Anyway, you guys should know who Louis Warsh is. Elixir by Louis Warsh. Anything, say, even the most amazing is easy done, if even easier not. I'd rather always be doing, even if it gets old, like these crows over there, crackling on about whatever, pen in hand, awaiting the next line over book, looking out at waves. No cares, the loss, flame doesn't acknowledge bringing you to tears, yet here you are. Another side of living through the hardest times arise. Unexpected, yet always welcome, bringing the sense of relief. Happy, if sobering, you realize how satisfied everybody else must feel when it reaches them. Then, without effort, it's gone. Not as if yesterday, more like forever since you last held out your hand, not worrying the next step. Thanks.
Thank you all for being here. Jason, Patrick, Marina, Jay, Modi, Elizabeth. I want to die broke, not a cent to my name, empty pockets and coffers, no debts and no claims. A skeleton taking a cold-blooded bath. This one here is for Patrick James Dunnigan. Telepathic haiku. Telepathic haiku. Please do not clap during the set. It is presumptuous and judgmental. Snap 3 fingers with 2 hands. That's all I got for this stanza. Little did you know they were all couplets. Despising duality, less words kill ego. Telepathic haiku, telepathic haiku. Not afraid they will say no, terrified of yes. Crows singing mid-evening stories. Some things have changed, some have disappeared. I sit here on front porch, downtown Berkeley. Walk with dog, Arlo, taking different paths every time, yet never once seeing anyone else sitting on their front porch. Though I wonder how odd I must look, 50-year-old photograph, shirtless, sun worship, blasting Debussy, solar hits augmented with Keith and hashish, rosemary stash. Well, at least there's still a half a hippie left lingering in Berkeley. Finally, fellow hippie witch strolls by, says hello after a quick double back to inspect the free pile, though it's been lacking for days. A child's booster seat with sandals to match. The crows are wild tonight. Yes, I respond, they really are. She smiles as she says, I had to walk around the block a couple of times to see what was going on. I smile as she strolls away, a carefree pirouette of a turn, arms swinging wide, head tossed back a bit, smiling at the sky, ears and heart wide open, listening to the crows. A small spider scoots across the porch, stops, rests, ponders, listens, continues on towards the sun. Spacing out the response when she asked what I was doing. Sensed lava boiling within. How many eruptions can we endure? It was the truth pleading not guilty of suppression for once. I told her it was not under my control, a gift from the void to be thinking of absolutely nothing, eyes out of focus, distance, light years gaze. Black hole perhaps, dark matter hopefully. All these things we can't quantify or qualify yet. The vultures have yet to compute the profit margins. I told her it was a gift from the void every time it happened, and I think she started to believe, noticing eyes out of focus, distant light years gaze, mind wandering nowhere, surfing whirlpool, breathing underwater. I told her it was a gift from the void, noticing eyes out of focus, distant light years gaze, two-dimensional liberation, floating upstream, down the street, breathing silence, emanating stillness. Finally, a thought arises. People pay money to go there. A gift from the void, eyes out of focus, distant light years gaze. Contact high, but not so much getting high off of contact these days. Turned on by my skin on your skin, sweating, sweaty, stuck together. Not moving, just laying there. Your arms across my torso, stuck together. Nowhere else to be, nowhere else to go. Throbs of heart pounding, pulsating in rhythm. A finger dipped into your mouth to lubricate and unstick, separating, sliding in, briefly unstuck. Now stuck, 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 sticky, stuck. Again and again and again, stuck together, just laying there, with nowhere else to be and nowhere else to go. Conception of love for Leslie Weiner. Remember when we were younger, when it was acceptable to lie down on the sidewalk, our cheeks pressed against the melting summer cement? The scent of chrysanthemums and honeysuckle clinging to our clothes. Anxiety of deadlines nowhere to be found until the sunset signals our curfew. Slowly walking home, holding dirty hands with sweaty palms, trying to extend the magic hour. Skin knees and holes in jeans, band-aids worn like badges, embracing our crutches, crying just because. Death, a stranger we were not allowed to speak to. Those moments when my eyes would catch your eyes, lingering, wondering who would be the first to laugh. The edges of your smile began to rise, and I knew that you could hear this heart beating through my cheek as it melted the summer sidewalk. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Tate Swindell, and a happy birthday. Anyhow, we're going to close out the evening with some other great music by Canyon Songs. Please welcome Canyon Songs.
Ready?
Luminescent colors, luminescent colors, backbone of silence. Can you hear the earth? She's crying. Look at all the people. I can't see what's coming. There's no pure in a shackled country. I said there's no pure in a fascist country. Who will you be? This is home to me. Home to you, home to me, home to you, home to me. Laws crying like rain, guns on parade. We reckon our hate, we bleed the same. We belong to each other. Luminescent colors, luminescent colors I see all around me. Black pools and low tides comfort me when I need silence. I see a world of grief, I am mercy.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us out, Tate.
Yeah, and happy birthday, Tate and Jessica. Happy birthday to you guys. Ready? Wait, I started wrong.
Don't give it all away. The sun shines down on you. Be what you are. A morning star. Speak from the right side of your mouth. No resistance at all. Opals I see, opals I see. How to be a friend. Let it end. Let it end. In the place where I got what it takes. It's well understood you ain't no good. Let it all fade to black, fade to black, fade to black. Opals opals I see, opals I see, opals I see. Thank you. Disappeared, disappeared like a shooting star. These changes and disappeared. No more apologies. Oh, my mother love has healed, and it's all right, 'cause I am here. Golden threads through the universe into my hands. Lift me up, lift me up like a dream. Your guitar in full effect. Lift me up. Born into succumbing to nothing, to divine and nothing, to love and nothing. It pushes me through. Thanks, everybody.
Well, ooh la la, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. What a fantastic evening. Great music with Canyon songs that we just heard, and also with Marina and Jay earlier, and also all the poets, Jason Morris and Patrick Dunnigan and Tate Swindell. So we hope to see you next month. Please check out the music down the road or go up to Coit Tower for the Gregory Corso celebration. And for those of you who are willing and able, I always very much appreciate some help with the folding chairs, moving them down to the basement, even if you just take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even 1. It's a huge help. Thank you very much for always being such a fantastic audience.